Jairam Ramesh says that Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra is not an electoral yatra but an ideological one. What does that mean in real political terms? I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. On this special broadcast, we'll be deconstructing the yatra through hard numbers. A new tracker by C Voter, the eminent cephalological punditry firm, is actually tracking the impact on brand Rahul, not just in states that are headed for elections this year, but also states where elections have just happened and where, of course, elections could happen down the road in the build up to 2024. Most people agree that Mr. Gandhi's image has changed, has improved after this yatra. But what does that change actually translate into in real electoral terms? And can the Congress afford to say that, hey, listen, we're not in this for the politics of the elections, we're in this for the ideology? What does that all even mean? A lot to unpack as we introduce our special panel today. Let's bring up our guests now on the program. Tehseen Poonawala, who's a die-hard, eternal optimist Congress supporter, is with us. Tavleen Singh, who is, of course, a veteran journalist, has been a trenchant critic of the Gandhis in the past, but has written some very intriguing pieces on the Bharat Jodo Yatra and Rahul Gandhi in recent months, is with us. Yashwant Deshmukh, who's C Voter, has been tracking the yatra continuously in gaps of a few months with some very interesting results, is with us. Ashwini Shahi, senior leader of the BJP, is with us. And Sanjay Jha, who's also, of course, a lapsed Congress spokesperson, will be with us in a few moments. All right, let me actually play out, just before we get to Yashwant's numbers, Jairam Ramesh's very intriguing description of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, describing it to be ideological, not electoral. Listen in.
Do you see that this yatra will help Mr. Rahul Gandhi to project him as a party's prime minister candidate in 2024?
No. This Bharat Jodo Yatra was not to project Mr. Rahul Gandhi as the prime ministerial candidate. This Bharat Jodo Yatra is an ideological yatra, of which the main face is Mr. Rahul Gandhi. It's not one individual's yatra. There are 200 Bharat Yatris. It's the Congress Party's yatra. Congress Party workers are involved. Obviously, the nation's attention is on Mr. Rahul Gandhi because he is the most visible, prominent and dynamic face.
No. This yatra is not to project Rahul Gandhi as the prime minister. Okay. Yashwant, I think this is the perfect cue to actually bring you in and your tracker. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this up. We're going to be looking at different states, get our panel to react, and then finally bring you the all India picture and how Mr. Gandhi squares off against the prime minister. So what I'm going to do, Yashwant, is actually ask you as we go through the 4 poll-bound states, and I'm going to start. I'm not sure what is the first state we have, if I can be told that, and I will then hand it over to Yashwant, and let's see it on our screen. It's Karnataka. Yashwant, it's over to you. Take us through Karnataka first.
All right, Barkha. So basically, these numbers are from our daily tracker, Barkha, where we are doing it all India basis every day. And what we have done in respective states, we have taken 5 data points. That is on the 1st of January 2019 and 1st January this year, last year of 2022. Then in that particular state, the day Yatra entered, one day before that, and the day Yatra exited that state and exit from that state, one day after that. And then we have followed it up for the 1st January 2023 just to see if the momentum gained by Yatra is continuously there or not. So you can see that approval ratings of Rahul Gandhi on 1st of Jan 2019 was 62% in Karnataka. It crashed almost to 39% 2022 January. Then before the Yatra, it was almost reaching 57%. After the Yatra, it was 58%. And on 1st of January, it is 56%. So basically, in Karnataka, before the Yatra happened, they started in Tamil Nadu. They entered Kerala. They touched a part of Telangana. And then they entered Karnataka. So there was a build-up again. There was a spillover effect, if I may say so, in Karnataka before the Yatra entered, and that momentum has sustained.
Okay.
So what if you look at it, there are 2 data points, Barkha. I mean, for every state, I would request your audience and the panelists to keep in mind that the way of glass half full and glass half empty that we generally say in a statistical analysis, so glass half full would be like if you compare it with the right before Yatra or 1st January 22 number, when Rahul Gandhi's numbers were probably at all-time low. There is
Yeah.
certainly a huge recovery from 39 to 56%. But to give it in the context, the glass half empty thing is the 1st January 2019 figure, and that is how you can see
So
that. Okay,
this is very intriguing, because it's not as if Mr. Gandhi was a very enormously popular political figure in 2019, but your figures, at least out of Karnataka, Yashwant, show that while he's picked up ground, because look at it, in 2022 to 2023, he goes from a 38.8% to a nearly 55% jump, right?
right,
So the
right.
yatra has helped him.
Absolutely. Yatra has certainly helped the repairing Rahul Gandhi his personal numbers, and almost touching to the high of where he was in 2019. There are two caveats here, Barkha. These numbers are personal rating of Rahul Gandhi, not a comparative rating of Rahul Gandhi with any other Congress leader, and certainly not a comparative rating of his prime competition. That is not just
The
Narendra Modi,
BJP.
but also now that everybody is talking about Arvind Kejriwal. So
Yes.
these are his personal approval ratings, and that is where the recovery or repairing has happened. But to give it the right context, we at some point of time we will discuss that whether these numbers mean that they are translating into repairing of numbers for his party, and whether those, even if it translates into those numbers, whether it means it is translating, or probably it might translate into electoral upswing for the party. So personal
Okay.
ratings and electoral upswings are two different things as well.
I want you to take us through Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Those are two critical states that are going to be up for elections this
Right,
year. And there's
right.
there's MP, and here it's slightly different, right? He's marginally above his popularity before 2019.
Marginally above, but yes, he was 55, went down to 45, and again repaired. Everywhere you will see a very significant V-shaped recovery, between 2019 to 2022, and now to at the end of the 22, and while we are entering, it's a V-shaped recovery, and he is kind of looking at the same number that were there on 1st January 2019.
And Rajasthan, where many people believe that the factionalism is actually going to swallow the Congress. If we can move now to the Rajasthan numbers, there they are, Yashwant.
Yes, there are the Rajasthan numbers, and you can see, Barkha, that in comparison to Madhya Pradesh or in comparison to Karnataka, there is a distinct, numbers are not in the same league. In Karnataka, they are in the 50s. In Madhya Pradesh, they are in the 40s, and in Rajasthan, they are just about 40s, or sometimes even in the 30s. So there is even though the V-shaped pattern of the recovery is the common thing among all the states, whichever state you look at it, you will see a V-shaped recovery, but there are distinct patterns as well, Barkha, as far as individual states are concerned. So certainly, it seems like if you wish to take broader points from these numbers, certainly it looks like that Rahul Gandhi or the Congress numbers should be most hopeful in Karnataka,
Karnataka.
a bit less hopeful in Madhya Pradesh, and least hopeful in Rajasthan, if I may say so in the comparative terms.
And finally, Telangana, if we can bring that up, where of course the BJP, that's very much its southern project, and this is how Telangana looks, where the numbers have actually slightly dipped.
Yes, but they went down hugely to 35%, and it has again picked up almost like 20 points. But the funny and odd thing, which I initially said, Barkha, there is a huge difference in personal rating and the party ratings, and between the party ratings and electoral sustainability. Because these numbers happened repairing of 55% in Telangana, when actually Congress lost even the deposit in the Telangana bypoll, the much talked about bypoll. So that is very classical thing to see. Similarly, in case of in Himachal, where Congress actually managed to win the election, but in case of Gujarat, where Congress was routed, and there the ratings of Arvind Kejriwal were better than Rahul Gandhi's ratings. We have discussed that. So these are very distinct and interesting trends that we are observing across the states.
I think it's a very important point that you make, that these are personal ratings of Mr. Gandhi and not comparative ratings to either Arvind Kejriwal, who is now taking him on in the opposition parties, or of course the Prime Minister. I want to get early reactions. We've looked at the poll-bound states, and as Yashwant said, Karnataka looking not so bad for the Congress, but then how the other states play out. Rajasthan is where there's the least dramatic improvement for Rahul Gandhi's brand. Tavleen, I want to bring you in. As someone who's not been a fan of the Gandhis, and when you hear Jairam Ramesh say, "No, we're not here to project Mr. Gandhi as Prime Minister," and then you look at Yashwant's numbers, repairing of Rahul, is it enough?
I think that really what has been achieved is the the projection of Rahul Gandhi as a serious leader. So far, they've been able to dismiss him as a pappu and, Rahul Baba the other day, Amit Shah said. I don't think you can say that anymore. He's really gained personal credibility. So I don't know why Jairam Ramesh is pretending that this was not meant to be to project him. Ideologically, you can sit in an office in Delhi and, say this is what we stand for. You don't have to walk across the country to make an ideological point. So clearly this was an attempt to build, and I actually said that it was a waste of time, so I have to eat crow. I'm clearly not a waste of time. I said I'd written that he should actually build the party rather than his own image, but I think that they made the right call, and certainly his image is now of a serious political leader.
But what we don't know is whether his personal image will actually electorally benefit the party. And Tehseen, when the Congress, repeatedly refuses to even engage with that possibility, it's kind of strange because, this is the same leader who once called power poison. If power is poison, then why are you in the business of seeking power? Or are you saying you're not in the business of seeking power? So all of that still remains a bit of motherhood, apple pie, warm, fuzzy, okay, great, good branding, the sort of a touchy-feely, new agey kind of politics. But what does it all amount to? And when you look at Yashwant's numbers, they very clearly tell you something quite interesting. They actually tell you that Mr. Gandhi was more popular before 2019, when the Congress badly loses the election, than he is today in most states, with some exceptions. Tehseen? Can we unmute Tehseen?
If you unmute me.
Yeah.
So first of all, Yashwant's numbers are, I completely rely on them and I trust Yashwant's numbers completely. So when Yashwant speaks about a V-shaped recovery for Rahul Gandhi in economical terms, that is what is to be expected. And that was what Bharat Jodo was supposed to do. But these numbers, you can look at numbers from different aspects. And for me, as a Congress supporter and somebody who studies politics, these numbers say a different picture. And I'll therefore come to why Jairam Ramesh is saying rightly what he's saying. See, if these numbers, even if you were to say that, okay, Rahul Gandhi reaches the same popularity that he reached pre-2019 elections, that's not good news for Congress, because in Karnataka, the Congress won just one seat. Madhya Pradesh, it won one seat, and Kamal Nath won on his own. It was wiped out in Rajasthan. It won 0 seats, and the famous Rahul Gandhi being very upset on the chief minister of Rajasthan. So the point is that these numbers are not going to help the Congress win unless the Congress gets its act together. What these numbers show you is Rahul Gandhi can bring the icing on the cake, but the cake has to be there. The base has to be there. So what the Bharat Jodo has done, now putting it in perspective with this number, has it's rejuvenated the Karyakarta. The Karyakarta who had nothing to look forward to, today feels rejuvenated, feels he has something to look forward to, and is in a fight. And if there is a fight, as we saw in Himachal, the Gandhis and the Congress party, not the Gandhis alone, and the Congress party can bring in that slight icing on the cake, the icing that Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah bring, the icing that Arvind Kejriwal bring. The other thing that Bharat Jodo has done, and why I agree with Jairam Ramesh, as it has put this country into two parts. So there is a part that you are with the BJP or you're against the BJP. And if you're against the BJP, this is specifically what the Congress is standing for. It's standing for a politics which is A type, which is completely against the BJP's politics of regional. The Congress talks about.
But let's briefly focus on what you said in your opening remarks there, Seen, that given the performance in Karnataka, a marginal improvement is not enough. A marginal improvement to, or even a comparative leveling with the 2019 popularity numbers is not enough.
I'm going to go one step further. Even if the Congress was to win, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Chhattisgarh, and Telangana is difficult, but I'm saying I'm going to go a step further. Even if they were to win, it does not win 2024 is guaranteed. I'm going a step further because 2024 is going to be fought on Prime Minister Modi's name. Now, I don't like Prime Minister Modi politically, but you cannot take away the tallest leader in the country and his name is going to be there. So let's understand one thing. What the Congress needs to do is focus on if the Gandhis are bringing in the branding that they're bringing in with Rahul Gandhi's this yatra, can they unite the party, say, for example, in Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh? Can they put up a good performance? Can they then lead? Can they lead to a victory in 2023, therefore building a momentum in 2024 going into it? One last point. Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh is extreme, and Telangana good performance, but Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh is extremely important for the Congress. Extremely important for the Congress because it will bring the Congress resources. The Congress is resources trapped. You may take this in any way you want. The Congress needs resources, and Karnataka is the way. This is why BJP does not want Congress to win Karnataka because it also brings resources for the BJP.
So Sanjay has just joined us, and for his benefit, we can bring up the Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh numbers once again. Ashwini ji, सबसे पहले आप क्या तवलीन जी से सहमत हैं कि वो जो एक राहुल गांधी के बारे में मजाक उड़ाया जाता था, चाहे कुछ भी हो चुनावों में, अब उनको सीरियसली लेना पड़ेगा? क्या आप इतना मानेंगे?
बरखा जी, मैं सबसे सहमत हूं, और जो अभी आपके डेटा दिखाया गया जसवंत जी का डेटा एकदम सही है, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी यहां एकदम सही है कि राहुल जी को एक गंभीर बनाने के लिए इतनी बड़ी पिकनिक यात्रा मनाई गई है। ये वहां से यहां तक राहुल जी की गंभीरता के लिए, राहुल जी की लॉन्चिंग के लिए ये यात्रा है। यहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी सत्य है, ये तवलीन जी ने भी कहा, ये आप दिखा रही हैं, और मुझे जो है लगता है कि पूरा देश इससे सहमत है, क्योंकि आज हम राहुल जी के लोकप्रियता की बात कर रहे हैं कि 1 जनवरी 22 को कितने परसेंट थे, 1 जनवरी 23 को कितने परसेंट है, एकदम ठीक है, होगा। लेकिन एक यात्रा जो है, आप 15 दिन, 1 महीने बाद फिर से मैं निवेदन करूंगा जसवंत जी से कि जसवंत जी ये काम करते रहते हैं, एक बार 1 महीने बाद भी हम लोग बैठेंगे, क्या यही रहता है वहां? ये सब हिंदुस्तान पीछे से भूलने वाला है। मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं, 400 सीट जीतने वाली कांग्रेस पार्टी, और आंध्र प्रदेश का मैं उदाहरण लेता हूं, जहां पर 2009 के चुनाव में 39 सीट थी, 2009 में सर 33 या 34 सीट थी, सर 39 नहीं 34 थी। उसके बाद 2019 में आते आते 1.29% वोट हो जाता है उसका, जो कि नोटा से भी कम रहता है। वो लोकप्रियता कहां गई थी? राहुल गांधी जी की लोकप्रियता नहीं थी, वो गंभीर नेता नहीं थे, कांग्रेस के लोगों ने किनारे करना शुरू कर दिया था।
चले
दूसरी तरफ
एक मिनट माने भी कि आपकी बात सही है कि ये सब राहुल जी को गंभीर बनाने के लिए है। आप मानेंगे कि आप वो गंभीर बन गए?
अब ये तो मैंने कहा ना, 1 महीने 2 महीने बाद, क्योंकि ये जो एक तरह से पिकनिक का कार्यक्रम जो हुआ है, एक स्टंट, पीआर स्टंट हुआ है, इसको देखना पड़ेगा कि यहाँ की जनता कितनी गंभीरता से लेती है इनको या नहीं लेती है। ये जनता के ऊपर छोड़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि आने वाले दिन में अभी बरखा जी, बस एक लाइन अंतिम में बोलता हूं, यात्रा जब से शुरू हुई है तब से कई उपचुनाव हुए, कांग्रेस हारी। कई राज्यों के चुनाव हुए, बुरी तरीके से कांग्रेस की हार हुई। एक हिमाचल में भी हम उनसे 0.9% पीछे रह गए थे, वरना हम वहां पर रहते।
और मैं यशवंत से ये पूछना चाहती हूँ, क्योंकि कहीं मुझे भी ये अजीब लगा, जो हम अगले आंकड़े दिखाएंगे उसमें पॉपुलैरिटी और इलेक्टोरल रिजल्ट में बहुत ज्यादा मिसमैच है, तो वो हम अभी स्टडी करेंगे. संजय, क्विक रिस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम यू एज अ Priyanka Gandhi fan who has often advocated that she is better than the brother. Have you changed your mind about that after this yatra, Sanjay Jha?
Barkha, in my opinion, the yatra was never meant to result in instant gratification. I think we need to factor in one reality. Politics is a game of patience. Now, I'm not saying that patience means that you basically imbibe failure every time you go to the hustings. I don't mean that at all. I think every time there's an election, a political party must work, burn the midnight oil to win it. But having said that, I mean, I do believe that there are two data points that will probably be relevant here in the conversation. Number one, where Rahul Gandhi is concerned and the Congress is concerned, because they are both inextricably intertwined, if I can use that cliche, the base level of, I think, the confidence level of the public will rise. I think I see the minimum level, which was like at a very abysmal level, that will definitely see a rise. I think whatever numbers you're seeing at the moment are organic. And in whenever yatras are held, etc., please remember L.K. Advani's famous Rath Yatra. It was not just a very episodic kind of an event. It became the talking point, became the political narrative that eventually put
I mean,
BJP
you didn't answer
into
my
focus.
question. Have you withdrawn your belief that Priyanka should replace Rahul as the leader of the Congress?
I actually haven't, and I'll tell you why. I think Rahul Gandhi makes a good ideological, a moral crusader or an ideological ambassador for the Congress. There are a lot of people in the Congress who definitely see him as a future prime ministerial candidate, but I would still request the Congress to decouple Rahul from the prime ministerial position.
Well,
You see,
well, you'd be glad to know that Jairam Ramesh did exactly that today. Let me just bring in Tavleen before I go back to Yashwant for the next set of numbers. Tavleen, you said you had to eat crow. Have you really had to eat crow? You said the yatra you thought was a waste of time. What is the benchmark of its success? Pratap Bhanu Mehta called it in the same Indian Express, where you also write a very popular column, a journey without a destination. He said there were some good things emerging from it, but it was not clear what the mission of this yatra is. And listening to Jairam Ramesh today, are you clearer on what its mission is?
Well, I can never understand what Jairam Ramesh means. I think he talks, from both sides of his mouth. So I don't know. And I don't want to comment on him. But I will say that I actually thought that, and I believe that until the Congress party rebuilds its infrastructure, its organizational structure, they can continue to do this branding of Rahul Gandhi till the cows come home. And in my view, it's not going to make an electoral difference because, they're not there on the ground. You go into a village, you see the BJP everywhere. You don't see the Congress party. So, once the yatra moves on, and, this in India, you can get people together. If you have even a picnic, sorry, कि वो शब्द मैंने use नहीं करना चाहिए था. I don't believe that it's been a picnic, but because he hasn't run off on some foreign trip for the past however many days it is, that's already a sign that he's being taken. Secondly, he's projected a kind of, he's actually touched the weakest point of the BJP, in my view, which is they've spread a lot of hatred. They've divided communities. And he has said, he made it sound like a Hindi movie, but he's right. He said, nafrat ke bazaar mein main mohabbat ki dukaan khol raha hu. That it is vital that India brings back that harmony that we have lost.
Yeah, but the point is that, while that you're right, it sounds like a Hindi film. Yashwant, it sounds like, I would say, Rahul Gandhi is channeling his inner Shah Rukh Khan. But if it doesn't add up to anything in the end, will the yatra still be called a success? So let's move now to Delhi, where we've just had dramatic MCD elections, where Arvind Kejriwal comes in. He takes away the local corporation from the BJP after 15 years. In Delhi, if we bring up those numbers, you actually see a kind of dramatic increase from how down Rahul Gandhi was in 2022, just a year ago, where the satisfaction was at 32.3%. It's up to, on the 1st of January, 50.9%. Yashwant, Delhi?
Yeah, I mean that's the funny part of it, And when I look at these numbers, Barkha, I somehow end up making two very different set of points in my mind. one thing which I feel that these numbers do not probably denote how popular Rahul Gandhi is. These numbers probably denote what the goodwill among the people for the Congress as an institution has been. Why I say so, these numbers are really high. That means that there is a certain level of goodwill among the people, among the masses, for Congress as an institution, and that dipped along with the dip in the approval ratings of the leaders, but they are now coming back in that way.
But how do you
However,
explain the dissonance between the Congress's performance in the local elections and this popularity
that's precisely
rise?
my point, which probably Barkha, probably Tavleen said it very nicely, that Congress's problem right now is the disintegration of the infrastructure, the grassroots level cadre, the worker, I mean, the entire thing. And that's a very interesting point which actually Tahseen made a very cheeky point, why they actually need Karnataka to be in their side, because it's also a matter of resources.
Yeah,
Barkha, without the resources, no electoral journey actually even starts in that way.
yeah.
However, Barkha, there's something which puzzles me further is that these numbers and the electoral viability, they don't really go hand in hand. As Tahseen correctly mentioned, that 2 points. Number one, that even at the peak of these numbers in 2019, that's where we are comparing it from, the Lok Sabha results were not really very rosy for the Congress. Number two, even in the states of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, where Congress swept in 2018 Vidhan Sabha election, they were dumped by the voters as far as the Lok Sabha elections were concerned. So these
Yeah.
are two different things. So does the Congress has a viability at the local level? Yes, it does have a viability. But when people vote for different elections, they vote in comparison to what leadership they are choosing for. So 2024 would be a different thing. So why this yatra now? Why this yatra? I have an interesting take of mine, Barkha.
Huh.
Whatever Jairamji said, that's to him to say and do. But I feel most of us used to think that this yatra is for the clear and present danger of BJP's overwhelming performance so far and overwhelming performance probable in 2024. But I think for the Congress, the clear and present danger was not the BJP. For the Congress, the clear and present danger was emergence of the alternative non-BJP powers, including Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party. And this
And
yatra was probably aimed at, probably to ensure, to tell the people that, okay, we are not dead.
that's a very important
We are
point.
here at the All India
Yeah.
level, and we
And
remain the prime opponent to the BJP.
and therefore, Yashwant, no surprise that that Arvind Kejriwal or Akhilesh Yadav have not consented to join this yatra, right? That's a very important point, and it's the perfect cue for us to turn our attention now to Uttar Pradesh. Ashwini Shahi is home state, and if we can bring up now the UP slide that we have, and that's just going to come up in a moment from now, and there it is. Here, look at this now. Rahul Gandhi, despite that Amethi loss, he was more popular before Lok Sabha 2019 than he is today. It's gone up from 1 year ago, but it's still not hit that the levels of the Lok Sabha, pre-Lok Sabha 2019. Yashwant, UP?
Yeah, absolutely. And Barkha, let's not forget that these 45 or 47 or 37 or 40% numbers, which map up as a positive sentiment for Rahul Gandhi, are essentially anti-BJP voters, which are right now stacked for Samajwadi Party, some section of that with Bahujan Samaj Party. So why these parties are not really very keen for a Congress revival? Because they know the moment the Congress revive in these states, it is at the expense of Samajwadi Party or BSP. It's not really at the expense of the BJP. So that is why the non-BJP parties, non-BJP, non-Congress parties, they are not really that enthusiastic until and unless they are absolutely sure that Congress is kind of a complete mercy on their support. For example, Mr. Stalin certainly knows Congress is, can never be a danger to him. So there is a full-hearted support. NCP and the Shiv Sena know that in Maharashtra, Congress is literally at number 4 player at this point of time. So they gave a support to them in the Yatra. But Uttar Pradesh is a different ball game. In UP, we have seen as close as 2009 Congress winning more than 220 Lok Sabha seats, Barkha. And SP or BSP they just cannot take the risk of propping up Congress or giving an indirect support to the Congress and eventually regretting why did they do so.
Let's get reactions now. मैं अश्विनी जी से शुरू करती हूँ. उत्तर प्रदेश में तो लगता है कि राहुल गांधी की पॉपुलैरिटी 2019 में ज्यादा थी, लेकिन फिर भी 2022 की कंपैरिजन में कुछ इंप्रूवमेंट हुई है. क्या आप यशवंत के इस आर्ग्यूमेंट से सहमत हैं कि ये जो यात्रा है ये आप लोगों को चुनौती देने के लिए नहीं है, ये अपने घर को थोड़ा सॉलिड और सेफ रीजनल पार्टी से रखने के लिए?
नहीं, ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. तौलीन जी ने भी कहा और जसवंत जी का आंकड़ा देखकर ये लगता है कि हमें इसका टाइटल बदलना चाहिए. पप्पू से लोकप्रियता तक का 3750 किलोमीटर का सफर. सिर्फ अगर इसके लिए है तो ये अगर उनको एक गंभीर पॉलिटिशियन बनाने के लिए इतनी बड़ी यात्रा, इतना बड़ा वो किया जाता है तो अच्छी बात है. सबसे पुरानी पार्टी है और उत्तर प्रदेश में जबकि वो आए नहीं, उत्तर प्रदेश के 2 जिलों को छूते हुए निकल गए, तो उससे मुझे नहीं लगता है कि यशवंत जी, क्योंकि उत्तर प्रदेश इतना बड़ा है कि पूर्वांचल के लोगों का कुछ और मन है, मध्यांचल का कुछ और है, बुंदेलखंड के लोगों का कुछ और मन है. वो तो पश्चिम के 3 जिलों को छूते हुए निकल गए और वहां से और पूरे प्रदेश के उसको भापना, पूरे आकलन करना थोड़ा सा मुझे लगता है कि कठिन है. हाँ, अगर वो ठीक है, अपने आप को सुधार रहे हैं, अपने आप को पार्टी में गंभीर बना रहे हैं, अपनी पार्टी के लिए कुछ ग्रास रूट का काम कर रहे हैं, तो ये अच्छी बात है. इसमें देश के किसी को कोई नुकसान नहीं हो सकता. और जो आंकड़े जसवंत जी दिखा रहे हैं, अच्छी बात है कि एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी को, जो आज विश्व की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी, हम कहते हैं 18 करोड़ की पार्टी है, उसके सामने एक पुरानी पार्टी खड़ी तो होगी हमारे सामने. जो आज
अमित शाह जी का भी एक बयान आया कि 2023 में जो प्रदेश के चुनाव होने वाले हैं वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. तो मैं थोड़ा जो अमित शाह जी ने बोला वो भी अपने दर्शकों को दिखाना चाहती हूँ. एंड देन आई विल कम टू यू तहसीन. लिसन.
माताओं, भाइयों, बहनों, मैं तो यहाँ आया हूं 2023 और 24 की चुनाव की तैयारियों के लिए, मगर 24 के पहले 23 का चुनाव आना है. मुझे बताओ, आप लोग चाहते हो 24 में मोदी जी फिर से प्रधानमंत्री बने? अरे जोर से बोलो, मोदी जी को सुनाई पड़े ऐसे. चाहते हो फिर से मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने? अगर मोदी जी को 24 में प्रधानमंत्री बनाना है तो 23 में फिर से छत्तीसगढ़ में भाजपा की सरकार बनानी पड़ेगी. बनाओगे क्या? पक्का?
So it shows you how seriously the BJP is in fact taking these assembly elections. Now I want to bring in Tehseen and Sanjay. Tehseen, go ahead.
So,
sorry, Yashwant has one line.
I agree with.
Just a line, please. Just a line. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tehseen, just a line because Amit Shahji's clip was played. Barkha, it was very interesting for me to observe that in the last 2 weeks of the Gujarat campaign, look at the way how much BJP did really work hard to say that our prime contest is with the Congress. Not BJP.
Not
really,
with Aam Aadmi Party. Not with
Aam Aadmi Party, because it was not only a problem for the Congress, it was also a problem for the BJP to see that Aam Aadmi Party should not cross a certain threshold in the in Gujarat as well. So I mean, it was really funny to observe that BJP almost campaigning for the Congress in Gujarat in the last time.
Yes, that is a very, very interesting point. Tehseen, go ahead.
So actually, I was going to come to this point second, but let me first take up what Yashwant said first. And Yashwant is right. And I often say this, Barkha, privately and publicly, and I have no hesitation in saying this. The main political enemy of the Congress is not the Bharatiya Janata Party, but is the regional parties. Every single time a regional party comes up, the Congress ends. The regional parties have a vested interest in not letting the Congress grow. So the Congress must focus on not doing ridiculous alliances with the regional parties. For example, and this is where I slightly disagree with Yashwant, who I very rarely disagree, the Shiv Sena has a vested interest in joining Bharat Jodo Yatra because Yashwant, Shiv Sena has lost its core Hindutva vote to the Bharatiya Janata Party. So what Aditya will get from the Congress is the Muslim, secular, liberal
can bring
vote,
up, in
which
fact,
the
we
Shiv
have the
Sena's.
Maharashtra, while you're talking about Maharashtra, we have the Maharashtra slides, so we can bring that up. Tehsil, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the Congress, now look at the Congress in Maharashtra, and I'm sitting right now in Pune. The Congress voter in Pune has now no problems in going with the Shiv Sena, which was more communal at one point and blamed for the riots in the Sri Krishna Commission, commissioned by the Congress, and the demolition of the Babri Masjid. So the Congress has given its voters in Maharashtra on a platter to the Shiv Sena. So I think some of these are strategically wrong. Now, second point to what we are discussing, and look at what Amit Shah ji says. Amit Shah ji says, I am here to contest 2023 and 2024. Now, you see, in India today, visualization, manifestation, and I know these sound like big words, and the ability to project yourself as a leader is extremely important. So when the Congress says that, look, we are not here for the electoral gains, I think the Congress is making a big mistake. The voter today likes to see who his or her leader is, and you like it or not. I can give you a big lecture on your show on what Baba Sahib Ambedkar said in the Constituent Assembly and why we must have parliamentary democracy and not presidential democracy. But hey, we are in a democracy where it is visual. It is
that's
visual.
my point.
And
unless
you don't project yourself as a leader who can take decisions. And I'll tell you, I'll end by one line my mom said in 2013. And my mom is a homemaker, a single lady, a homemaker who's not very politically active, but is politically very aware. And in 2013, she told me about Prime Minister Modi, then Chief Minister Modi. His body language looks like the Prime Minister. She said this is a single mother who's politically aware. You have to project yourself as a leader.
And that
unless
remains,
you don't
and
do
that
that.
Remains, Tehsil, let me
That
come
is
in.
the thing.
And that remains my disagreement, that you can't be this reluctant, I am the mentor. I am the mentor in chief of the party. I am the ideological guiding light, because it creates an inherent dualism and confusion in the power structure of the party. Sanjay, I want to
just
bring
one
you
line.
in.
Therefore, I agree with Sanjay. Showcase Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, because you see Prime Minister Modi, not because of any other region, Prime Minister Modi does not attack Priyanka or Sonia ji. He made one mistake with Sonia ji. He's made that mistake with Mamta ji, and Prime Minister doesn't make the same mistake twice. He will never attack PGV, no matter what. He will not attack her. His minions may attack Robert, but they won't attack Priyanka. Because the Prime Minister knows that the minute he attacks Mrs. Gandhi or Priyanka ji, and when the Prime Minister attacked Mamta ji, this country does not like attack on women. It just does not tolerate it, no matter how big a leader you are.
Let me bring in Sanjay. The very interesting thing that no one has actually spoken about is that the Congress has dropped its defensiveness about Robert Vadra. Robert Vadra has been seen routinely walking with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and their children at this yatra. They're not defensive, it seems, anymore about the dynast tag either. Now, the Himachal win, and we have Himachal numbers, is being attributed to Priyanka Gandhi. But when I was interviewing the new chief minister, of course, he said Priyanka Gandhi factor, but he said it was essentially a local election. Now, look at those numbers on Rahul Gandhi's popularity there. Yashwant, I'll come to you. I just want Sanjay to look at these numbers. It's actually increased marginally in the last year, but not gone back to the levels it was before 2019. Are we still going to see it was the Gandhi factor that won the Congress Himachal Pradesh? Sanjay?
Barkha, first and foremost, I need to be honest, a lot of respect for the poll. But these, peaks and troughs will always happen when they are based on a very event-specific measurement. So Rahul is there is going to be a certain spurt, Rahul leaves the state, and there's going to be a drop. I think the fundamental point that we need to accept that the Congress and Rahul Gandhi will gain a sustainable, organic gain in terms of reputation and credibility, because this is a mass contact program. The Congress has been very conspicuously absent in terms of what everybody was asking the party to do, is to hit the streets. So I think these are manifestations of change, and I do believe that the Bharat Jodo Yatra will show you an increased traction over a period of time, because unless somebody else is able to beat Rahul in this game, I think the Congress will remain a primary beneficiary of this entire yatra when it's over. And I think they will also do the west to east later on. My second point is this, that Narendra Modi gains because of the simple reason that people of India say, well, who else is the prime ministerial alternative?
Yeah.
They have not been able to buy into the Rahul Gandhi story. But tomorrow, if the Congress is able to win Karnataka, I completely agree with Tehseen that the chances of the Congress winning Karnataka, unless they do a Punjab on Karnataka, at the moment look extremely high. Now, these are, again, electoral results that could really give a momentum to the Congress. I also do not agree that 2024 is a done and signed deal. I don't buy that logic. I disagree with
Okay.
Tehseen on that. I
Okay.
believe that at the end of the day, the people of India will be willing to look at change, will be looking at new options. I don't think there's any great romance with Narendra Modi because the performance of the BJP on several parameters is
We'll
absolutely
show you.
abysmal.
We'll show
So
you in a
I
few
do believe it
minutes.
can
We'll show
change.
you. We'll show you in a few minutes the popularity of the Prime Minister and where that stands. We're on Himachal. Yashwant, briefly, I want to come to Tavleen, but I want you to comment on Himachal and also on Punjab, where the AAP just took that state in such a dramatic way. There you see Punjab. I'm fascinated by Punjab. Look at how low the popularity is for Mr. Gandhi. It's plummeted from before 2019, and it's a wipeout for the Congress in Punjab. That yatra has had no ripple effect in Punjab, at least. Yashwant and then Tavleen. Yashwant?
After the victory, even after the victory in Himachal, you can very well see that his popularity or his ratings are lower than the votes polled by the Congress in Himachal elections.
Yeah.
So, which tells you what? It tells you very clearly that, first of all, the Himachal victory is largely because of the local Himachal leadership, particularly three leaderships, which worked in three distinct regions of Himachal very, very strongly to bring up bigger number of MLAs to stake claim as the chief minister's post. So, and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's campaign in Himachal, that seems to have worked. Probably, if I will run a comparison, I should do it actually. Now that we are looking at these numbers, whether Priyanka's ratings are higher than Rahul's rating in Himachal, and going by whatever experience that I have seen with the data, I will not be surprised if that happens. And yes, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra brings a much more bigger traction for the Congress than Rahul Gandhi does always, as and whenever we have asked questions about it. But
and
in
how
Punjab,
do you explain Punjab? Yeah, how do you explain Punjab?
In Punjab, you see, that's where my observation was about clear and present danger for the Congress is not BJP, and I agree with Tehseen that it is the regional and alternative parties like Aam Aadmi Party. So wherever these parties have taken root strongly, they are not leaving much of a scope for the Congress to come back or leave room for the Congress to grow further. So even though Aam Aadmi Parties has been there for almost a year now in Punjab, but look at the numbers that Rahul Gandhi is unable to repair.
Can I just get Tavleen to come in on that? Tavleen, that's a state you know like the back of your hand. It's a wipeout for the Congress there. Rahul Gandhi, no repairing of Rahul Gandhi in Punjab. Tavleen?
Okay, because in Punjab, I know from Punjabis who live in Punjab, the role that they played in getting rid of Amarinder Singh is widely seen as an exercise done by Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi. It was a disastrous move, and they're very unpopular because of that. And this is a state where Mr. Modi is not that popular either. But I believe it's really because of that. Now, I want to pick up something that's going on about the regional parties and the regional parties. Yes, they're very important. Yes, they give them a big fight. But not one single regional party or regional leader is in a position to challenge the BJP at the national level. Only the Congress party can do that. So the Congress party really must decide who the leader is and who they want to project as their, as the main challenger, because the regional parties are not going to take on Mr. Modi. Even if they all come together, they'll be fighting over who the prime minister should be.
Yeah, and I think that's the point Yashwant has made, that there can be no opposition, national opposition, without the Congress as the pivot. Sanjay, give me a second. We have the all India numbers now, and I think those will interest all of you, because that's really the hub, of this debate. And this is how it looks. Yashwant, you want to just summarize this all India numbers for us? Yashwant?
It's a V-shaped recovery over here at all India numbers as well. I mean, from a high of 55, it went down to 40 on 1st of January 22, and right now it is repaired at 48. It's still not at the same number where it is 2019, but it's still a V-shaped recovery. So it gives you the right context, Barkha. If you will only compare with 1st January 22, you will say it's 8% jump. But if you look at the big picture, then you know it is a V-shaped recovery, and it is a what shall I say? It's still a work. It's still a work in action, or it's still something which they are working on. It's still not something which
let's come to the key question. Sanjay made a comment about the Prime Minister. People don't see an alternative. This is what the Prime Minister's popularity looks like since this yatra started. We have a similar tracker from before 2019 to up until this point. And Sanjay, I'm afraid your assumption doesn't match these numbers. The Prime Minister's popularity has increased from 2019 to 2023. It's actually gone up 10 percentage points, right? So just look at these numbers. Yashwant, anything that leaps out to you on this slide before we look at similar numbers for Rahul? Yashwant?
Yeah, I mean, it has gone up. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that personal ratings are different, but it is all about comparison to what Tehseen said, that it's basically about the race. If you are not running alone,
exactly,
you are running against someone, and that against someone, if that person is faster than you, then that person is going to win the race.
So let's look at how your tracker shows Rahul Gandhi comparing in popularity at an all India level, preferred candidate for Prime Minister. So you've got Mr. Modi at 60% and Rahul Gandhi at 30%. That's really the bottom line.
This is the question, Barkha. This is the question at two-horse race, where we asked the respondent, between Narendra Modi and Rahul Gandhi, who would you like to pick up as the Prime Minister of your country? And it's like 60 to 30, 1:2. That kind of gap is what Tehseen said. It makes sense that it's not that easy. And I actually agree with Ashwini ji. जब वो बोले कि उनको गंभीरता के साथ में एक नेतृत्व की तरह से प्रोजेक्ट करना, ये इस यात्रा से ये तो हो जाएगा, लेकिन उसके बाद में लोग नरेंद्र मोदी के कंपैरिजन में कांग्रेस को वोट डालेंगे या राहुल गांधी को वोट डालेंगे या नहीं डालेंगे, ये बिल्कुल ही अलग विषय है. मतलब इन दोनों को आपस में कंफ्यूज नहीं करना चाहिए.
Sorry. Yeah. Sanjay, I was saying you were the one who made the argument that Prime Minister is not that popular. There's just no alternative. Tehseen, by contrast, said the Prime Minister is the tallest political leader today. And these numbers reflect that. If we can switch to the slide of the Prime Minister for a second. Sanjay, go ahead.
Well, Barkha, that's exactly my point, actually. These numbers establish that Mr. Modi gets away with it. My point is I want to reiterate the point that today, for example, when you're comparing two people, if one is not being seen as a favorable option, the other naturally draws all those people who are sitting even on the fence. You see, people vote for the BJP or Mr. Modi because they don't see Congress maybe forming a government or Rahul Gandhi being a prime minister. It's not that there is a love for the party or there's a love for Mr. Modi. Because
it doesn't help you if Jairam Ramesh says Rahul Gandhi is not doing this yatra to be prime minister. Why won't you say I'm competing? If you're not in the race, why should people consider you?
I believe Jairam's statement should not be mocked at because it keeps the doors open. Because remember, the Congress has a tough job. The Congress has to basically forge an opposition unity. Many people are not going to buy. Mamta, for example, won't buy into Rahul Gandhi despite the yatra. So the Congress needs to be very malleable at this point of time, Barkha. And I do believe that this whole, I agree with Tavleen completely. The Congress has to worry about the regional parties when it comes to state elections. When it comes to the national election, your principal foe is the BJP. Simple. If you are, just think about the one simple data point. There are around 200 seats where the BJP and Congress are head to head. If the Congress were to do justice to that contest, the BJP could come down from 303 to 200 seats. It changes the entire politics.
He makes the opposite argument. I will come to him, but Ashwini ji, the Prime Minister's ratings increasing, popularity increasing by 10 percentage points from 2019 to 2023. You will of course say इसमें कोई surprise की बात ही नहीं है. लेकिन ये जो एक debate चल रही है, what is the prime opposition for the BJP? Is it the Congress or is it the regional parties? इस पे आप क्या बोलेंगे?
देखिए, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की लोकप्रियता 2009 में 2% थी पूरे देश में, और आज वो 60% पर खड़े हैं। तो ये लोकप्रियता किस तरीके से बढ़ी है, इसको कहीं कोई क्वेश्चन मार्क किया ही नहीं जा सकता। बाकी रही राहुल गांधी जी की बात, जो लोकप्रियता उनकी बढ़ रही है, अच्छी बात है। उस दल में इसकी कमी थी, तो कम से कम हम लोगों को भी एक विपक्ष, सशक्त विपक्ष मिलेगा, जिससे लड़ाई करने का मौका मिलेगा। लेकिन असली बात जो देखने वाली है कि जो 129 सीट जो 5 राज्यों में आती है साउथ के, वहां पर यात्रा करके आए हैं और सभी लोग कह रहे हैं कि बेहतर कर लेंगे। वहां पर हम लोग इनकी सीटें जो है थोड़ी सी 37 थी, हमारी 29 थी। अब ये देखना है कि कांग्रेस वहां पर कितनी बढ़िया कर सकती है और हम क्या कर सकते हैं। तो असली परीक्षा वहां होगी, क्योंकि इस यात्रा से लोकप्रियता का बढ़ना और गंभीरता से वोटर्स को लेना, फाइनली हम राजनीति के लिए करते हैं।
मैं ये कहने वाली थी कि नहीं, मैं आप ही से एक बात कर रही हूँ कि कांग्रेस का जो हाल राजस्थान में है, वो आपका हाल कर्नाटका में है। So, Telangana, we're seeing, can we just switch to Karnataka for a second? You see, the numbers don't tell you the story of factionalism. Yediyurappa versus Bommai, this is the factor. Pilot versus Gehlot, this is the factor. These numbers, ये numbers आपको वो politics की पूरी कहानी थोड़ी ना बता रहे हैं. What Karnataka is for the BJP, Rajasthan is for the Congress, according to me. आप क्या बोलेंगे अश्विनी जी?
देखिए, हमको यहां पर हम लोग अगर बात लोकप्रियता की कर रहे हैं, तो राजनीतिक दल लोकप्रिय होने के लिए नहीं आते हैं। राजनीतिक दल आते हैं फाइनली चुनाव के लिए, कि हम चुनाव लड़ेंगे और चुनाव में हम कितने बेहतर कर जाएंगे। तो कर्नाटक में अगर हमारे यहाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम है, तो उसको हम सुलटा रहे हैं वो, और एंड ऑफ द डे हमारा जो है सब कुछ बेहतर हो जाएगा, वहां आप देखिएगा। तो मेरा ये कहना है कि अभी लोकप्रियता की बात हो रही है, हम फिल्म की टीआरपी नहीं बढ़ा रहे हैं, हम एक व्यक्ति को आगे नहीं बढ़ा रहे कि सिर्फ एक व्यक्ति को लेकर चलना है, हमको पूरे दल को देखना है। और पूरा दल यूपी में देखना होगा कि आज 27% 27 सीट से 2 सीट हो गया, 2% वोट हो गए, जो सबसे बड़ा प्रदेश है। हम कर्नाटक की बात कर रहे हैं, राजस्थान में बहुत ही बेहतर हम करेंगे। कर्नाटक में हो सकता है कि कुछ हमको दिक्कत हो, लेकिन हम उसको सुलझाने की कोशिश करेंगे। लेकिन उसके अलावा भी और प्रदेश हैं जहां हम बेहतर करने की स्थिति में हैं। हम आंध्रा भी बेहतर करने की स्थिति में है, हम तेलंगाना भी बेहतर करने की स्थिति में है।
चलिए देखते हैं। तहसीन, your argument has been that the regional allies are the main problem. No one else on this panel seems to agree. Tehseen, can we unmute Tehseen?
I unmuted myself.
Thank you.
No, I think Yashwant agrees with me, and Yashwant agrees with me because Yashwant knows that I am the person who will never go via Rajya Sabha. I don't need Rajya Sabhas. I'm a grounded person. So what I speak is from the ground. Let me just hypothetically, I'll be very brief on this. Hypothetically ask, if I'm to contest from Pune, why will a voter vote for me? Because the Muslim will be okay voting for Shiv Sena. The Brahmin is voting for BJP. I'm talking Maharashtra context. The Maratha is voting for NCP. Who's voting for me? And I'll only bring in my vote. So please, let's understand, the Congress has declined where regional parties have come up. And the 200 seats that Sanjay is talking, the Congress is contesting against the BJP, or 160 seats, it's only Congress BJP. So where there is BJP, the Congress is alive. So that argument settles there on data. Let me make another comparison. For a minute, understand a hotel, a 5-star hotel with Mr. Modi as the chef, Amit Shah ji as the sous chef, and a couple of other chefs. So Mr. Modi is serving you a buffet. In that buffet, he's serving you the G20. He's serving you, Amit Shah ji, the sous chef, is serving you the Ram Mandir on 1st January 2024. Another sous chef is serving you the economy. A third sous chef is serving you something else. There's a buffet of what you want. You can go take your pick. In comparison, what is the Congress doing? The Congress is saying, oh, that buffet is not good, that hotel is not good. Okay, I understood. But what are you serving me? I am hungry, right? I want to eat. You are not telling me what you're serving me. Are you serving me Japanese? Are you serving me Indian? What is your buffet? What is it? So you have to take it on. And so you have to tell me what the alternative is. When you don't do that, you just tell me his food is not good. I agree. But what are you giving me? You can agree that Mr. Modi's food is not good. But despite the food not being good, Mr. Modi is the tallest chef in the country.
And these numbers on your screen.
These numbers don't lie. Just one line. Look, when they dipped in 2022 when there was the COVID disaster. They dipped. If we look enough of saying India's not. Can we
go back to the Prime Minister's slide and look at those numbers?
Prime Minister's slide.
Yeah, there.
And I told the tallest 3 or 4 leaders in the Congress that the minute COVID gets over and the economy takes a V-shaped recovery, Mr. Modi's numbers will grow up. Look, you can say that India is not a democracy. You can say all of that. India is a fascist state and all. Ultimately, India is an imperfect democracy. All democracies are imperfect. And people also make Mr. Modi course correct. And he does course correct. So ultimately, enough of now saying, this is what we don't like about the BJP. Yes, we don't like that. That's established. What is it that you're giving the people of India is what you need to establish.
Let me bring in Tavleen on the Prime Minister's increased popularity and then give Yashwant the last word. Are you surprised 10 percentage points increase from 2019 to now, Tavleen? You've had 3 years of COVID, or 2.5 at least, 2 terrible years, but he's picked up.
Yeah, no, he course corrects. Tahseen's absolutely right. And, the fact is that in a very troubled world at the moment, and Europe's going into recession, there's a war in Ukraine, etc., people want a credible leader. His credibility has increased. And now, whether we like it or not, Indians like to see their prime minister being well regarded. So if he can say something on Ukraine that Macron then quotes at the UN, it shows that he has a credibility. At the moment, we don't see Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi or Sonia being able to give him any competition where that's concerned. So the Congress party has a lot of work to do to build up the infrastructure that they've broken down with and a leader. We've got to find out who their leader is.
Yeah. Yashwant, very quickly, one takeaway from these numbers for you that stays with you.
One takeaway, this V-shaped recovery is fine, but I would be more interested in looking at the numbers which will be coming up in coming weeks, because I want to check the sustainability of this V-shaped recovery. That is very important for me to understand whether Congress has a follow-up plan, whether Congress has the infrastructure as a party does something to follow up on this yatra, and whether these numbers where the yatra has been done and over, whether the numbers in those states, they are sustainable over there or not. And I totally agree with Tavleenji that, it's at the end of the day, it's about the credibility in people's perspective, perception. Mr. Modi's credibility probably is at all-time high. And that is why at the national level, his numbers are going to be really, really robust. However, there are going to be chances for the Congress and other opposition parties at the state level where the BJP is vulnerable at the state leadership. If they focus on that, those number of fights, they might score well. And if they decide that, okay, we need to concentrate on our energy and go for something which is right now not working, we don't know. But we will be keeping a track of these numbers, and Barkha, probably a month down the lane, it would be really nice to see, change and look at the numbers,
where they stand.
Whether they stand and they sustain or not.
And clearly, Amit Shah has understood that these state elections are to be taken very seriously in the run-up to the national election. And I think Tavleen is absolutely right. Rahul Gandhi, for all the good that the yatra has done to his personal branding or repairing that broken brand, and I think we can all agree that has happened, has to decide, is he leading the Congress party or not? I don't know even today what it means to be the ideological mentor of the party. I don't know what it means for the yatra to be described as ideological, but we leave it there. Tahseen, Sanjay, Ashwini, Shahi, Tavleen, and Yashwant, thank you for those numbers, and we look forward to the next C Voter Tracker. Thank you to our audience. Have a great weekend. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Voter Story and support independent, robust journalism.